Welcome to On Thick Ice, a podcast about navigating relationship intricacies by two people who are just trying to make one work. I'm Emily.
And I'm John. Each week, we'll be tackling the pressing issues we all face in our relationships but rarely address head on.
Vacations. A break from real life, a chance to unwind, recharge, and spend time with your partner. Unless you're stuck on a crappy group vacation, or you have to use your PTO for the family reunion you'd rather die than attend, or your sister insists on dragging her screaming kids along, or you can't decide on where to go, or you're nervous about where you're going to use the bathroom because you've never shared a hotel room before, or your partner tells you that they would love to go on a vacation, just not with you. But other than that, vacations are great, fun, relaxing, not at all anxiety-inducing or potentially traumatizing.
No, they are perfect.
Yes.
Vacations are supposed to be so enjoyable, but I think we all know that the picture-perfect vision for your trip left the building before you even started your trip.
Uh-huh.
Right. So I think we all have this like false sense of excitement or calming feeling or whatever it is when you're anticipating a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
In some cases, yes, you do have a blast and everything goes to plan and it's perfect, but shit happens and people get stressed. They get angry. They lose all their joy in life and just want the damn trip to be over before it even begins. So what is it about the word vacation that makes us so happy? And then what turns this amazing picture perfect vision you had to shit? Are you setting your expectations too high? All you see is the fun parts of the vacation and neglect to think of the potential bad stuff? Did you make a mistake and agree to a family vacation?
Ugh.
Does your partner take too many friend vacations? Or can a vacation take a dark turn or have an underlying meaning or glimmer of hope of better days to come? It absolutely does do all of these things. So, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
Yes, I finally got one. So, to answer these questions, we're going to start with analyzing the different types of vacations that people go on and their impact to their relationships. Like
Right.
what are the triggering spots? Like where do things get complicated? And how can that at the end of the day impact you and your relationship with your partner? But before we start, let's first kind of level set on what is a vacation. Like what is the definition of a vacation?
Okay.
Do you know what the definition of a vacation is?
I mean,
Okay, well don't
time
try
off
to
of work.
don't try to define it.
Okay.
Just what do you think most people relate the word vacation to?
Go on a trip somewhere that's not your house.
That's it?
Yeah.
Like you don't like have a picture of palm trees and beaches or ancient ruins or
I mean,
all-inclusive sushi next to a fucking I don't know, topless pool, whatever.
yeah. Beaches and
Right.
pools
Right.
and bathing suits.
Exactly. Like that's what people think about. And they just think of like the sunset hard hands or whatever shit floats your boat. Or you might even be on a boat. I don't know. But the point is, and you were actually right, like almost spot on your first statement, which I'm very surprised. Good job. Air
Oh,
five.
wow.
No, like I assume that people relate vacation to positivity and not just leaving your house.
That just shows how I view the world.
And that's absolutely false because vacation and it's not just leave house. That's not how that works.
Leave house, spend not money.
Yes, go place far.
Yes.
Big time boat water. And here's some paper towels. All right, sorry, we got off track here. So, vacation. As to the Googles.
Yes.
The Google says a period spent away from home or business in travel or recreation.
Okay.
Okay. There's no beaches there.
Okay.
That does not say beach or palm tree or spend lots of money. So obviously, if you're not home, I assume you're traveling.
Right.
Yeah, I would hope. The other is an extended period of leisure and recreation, especially one spent away from home or in traveling. So basically,
Okay.
the same interpretation.
Right.
So this is our level set of vacation. It is travel away from home or business.
Right.
Okay. So now we know what that is.
Yes. Okay, so with that in mind, this period of time that's spent away from work and home in a leisurely state of travel, is it always a leisurely state of travel? I don't really think so, because there's a ton of different types of quote unquote vacations you can go on, and I'm gonna start with what I perceive personally to be like the worst kinds.
You're starting off with the worst?
Well, maybe okay.
Well, let me go ahead
It
and just
might not
stop
be
you
the
there.
worst,
Let me
but
just
I don't
stop you
want to
there
do it.
because I have the worst.
Okay.
I will get to that later.
Okay. Okay, so maybe not the worst, but definitely not one I want to do. And that is family vacations.
Yes.
And that comes in many, many different forms. And I'm going to start with the holidays and the in laws because it's not technically a vacation, but like you sometimes have to use your vacation time to do it, and you are away from your house and you are possibly traveling. A lot of
Well,
the times.
let's go ahead and qualify this now.
Okay.
Okay, are we going to?
Yes.
We
you're
are going,
going
to. Okay, it's a vacation.
Okay. Um.
I just check.
And the other thing is that it's potentially the first time that you are going to be spending an extended period of time with the other person's family, right? Especially if you live far apart. When do you meet the parents? You meet them when you go to their house for Thanksgiving, right? So many awkward situations can come up with this. There's just like, are you allowed to sleep in the same room if you're not married? You'd rather stay in a hotel, but that's the rudest thing your mother-in-law has ever heard. Your creepy cousin keeps walking in on you while you're in the shower. Like, so many things just seem so awful. And to be honest, I've never had to do this because anytime we've gone to visit your family, we've just stayed at a hotel and not had to deal with the staying at someone else's house.
Yeah, I would not have that any other way. And
Yeah.
and I love the people who are like, "Oh, yeah, no, you stay with us. We have a spare bedroom. We have the twin bed, you
No,
know."
I would rather die.
And you don't want to like step on, a sore topic or
Right.
whatever, but at the same time, it's like, would you stay at my house?
Right.
Straight up. Would you stay at my house?
Yeah.
I have one bathroom.
It just sounds horrible, right?
It does.
But people do it all the time.
I know.
Like, that's what I mean. To be honest, I have just spent multiple weeks at my grandma's house sleeping in my little sister's room, but that was just me. That wasn't
Yes.
me and you, so
Right.
that was completely different.
Right.
But yeah, all of my knowledge about people who do this kind of thing and don't just stay in a hotel is from like movies. So I don't have any real
Well,
world.
look, if it's a strong enough case, and I think this is valuable advice.
Mhm.
If there's a strong enough case that they can make a movie out of it, you probably shouldn't do it unless it's a documentary.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
If it is a spotlight and a comedy,
Mhm.
don't do it.
Right. So the issue that I feel with this type of, I keep saying quote unquote vacation because it just does not sound very leisurely to me at all, is
Mhm.
that just the staying with the in-laws, or it's one of your in-laws, right? That presents so many challenges in and of itself that then put pressure and strain on the relationship, because we could be fine, but once your mom says like we can't sleep in the same bed for some reason, like that's when I'm getting mad and fights are starting and we're gonna have a little riff, right, between me and you.
Yes.
So I think that if you are spending holidays with the family, specifically if you're spending more than one day, like if you're spending the night, if you're spending a week, whatever, you have to make sure that before you go, you set clear boundaries with your partner about how much time you're willing to spend engaging with the group, and also how to deal with certain things. Like, what do you do when your mom is driving you insane? You have a code word that you go outside and you go for a walk. Or what do you do when creepy cousin keeps walking in on the shower? You punch him in the face. Like, you gotta do something like that. But personally, when it comes to holidays, I am on team for Christmases. Just do not spend time with your family. Don't go living at grandma's house for a week. Spend your holidays doing what you want. If that's family time, that's great. If it's not, enjoy Bora Bora. That's how I feel.
Yes. And I definitely think, moving away, being away from family.
Yeah.
Like not like in a convenient drive away.
Right.
I think that definitely adds a lot of stress as
Yes.
well. Because it's
And
not,
pressure.
yeah, yeah. Well, the thing is, well, I mean, I guess you can do this too if you're staying on your own, but when you're local, you know, if something is about to happen or
Mhm.
something goes down,
Mhm.
you know, you can just leave.
Right.
Like, you know, let's just say like your sister
Mhm.
is dropping by in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Be like, all right, well, I don't want to see her. I'm out, y'all. Peace.
Yeah. Right.
When you are visiting,
Mhm.
granted, we have other things to do, but
Mhm.
it's rude.
Right.
You know, now you have the pressure
Right.
of
You're stuck there. You're staying there.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't.
Well, I know,
That's,
but
that's not what I would be doing.
but
Um,
in this scenario, we're
Right.
talking about staying there.
right. Yeah, I definitely like the four Christmases approach.
Mhm.
The the keyword, what is it? The safe word?
Yeah.
What was the safe word?
Mistletoe.
Mistletoe. I'm like sitting here remembering him in a headlock. And
That is one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. I love that one.
yeah, that's like the only thing I could. Oh. Or before, like, to go back to what I said earlier, before they even get out of the car, he's like, mistletoe.
Yep. That would be you 100%.
Oh my god, I would honk the horn, wave, and leave. Merry Christmas.
Drive by Merry Christmas.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like have like an ejection seat.
Ejection heat. What'd you say?
An
Erection? heat?
erection pleat. Oh wait, no, actually, it would be better erection feet, right?
Yes.
That's a thing.
That
Okay,
makes more sense.
that's another episode. An ejection seat that will propel all of the gifts, maybe on the roof.
Yeah, like Santa.
Yes,
Perfect.
exactly.
Yep. Cool. Sounds great.
But you don't have a chimney.
Right. And then you've got extended family vacations or family reunions. So like in a situation where like if it's a family reunion, obviously your entire extended family is meeting in a place to do activities and stuff like that. I've never had one of those. I don't know how they work. Or like I know some people go on vacations with their extended family.
So this is not going to the family. This is you
and the
family
going somewhere.
Destination.
Yes.
Got it.
So, like, for example, when I was a kid, we went to Disney World. It was like my grandma, my parents, both my uncles, their girlfriends, extended family, right?
Mhm.
So that's what I'm thinking there. So, where could that all go wrong? Especially if, hopefully, you're lucky and your parents are paying for it. I mean, mine wouldn't, but you know, some people still do. The one thing that I thought of is like maybe you feel like a kid again, but like not in a good way. Because you're spending so much time with your parents and then they start parenting you again even though you're an adult and you're with your partner and you're in a relationship. They're judging what you eat, they're judging how you spend your time, they're telling you that they've seen you at the friggin' all-inclusive bar too much, they're fucking, you might even be trying to have quiet sex while they're in the next room. You feel like a teenager in your house sneaking around your parents again, and that's just not fun. There's nothing fun about that when you're an adult sneaking around your parents, right? Or having to deal with their bullshit.
No. Yeah. It's not the same. Okay. Never mind. I was just thinking like recent times,
Uh-huh.
having visitors.
Oh, yeah. It's not the same, but it's similar.
Yeah.
I feel like as an adult, when you have to spend any significant period of time with your parents, and it doesn't matter how good of a relationship you have with them, they're going to try to parent you like you're a kid, and you are going to rebel against that like you're a kid.
Well, it's not even that. It's like, well, okay, so like at my point in life,
Mhm.
okay, yes, family knows best, and they are very willing to share it with you.
Right.
But they're also very disconnected
Mhm.
with life, and it's very apparent. And it's not that they're disconnected, like they haven't like checked out, but their sound advice that they've been giving for the last 40 years
Not so sound.
has aged out possibly. And having it's kind of like the de-evolution
There you go.
of a human
Yes.
in live action.
Mhm.
It's oh yeah, you should brush your teeth before you eat your food.
Right, yeah,
It's
stupid shit.
it's like, yeah, no, that's not a thing anymore.
Right.
Or like you know, like your parents, oh, you shouldn't eat all of that. You're gonna get fat.
Mhm.
And, well, first off, I'm already fat. And second, like they don't even weigh you at the fucking doctor anymore.
Right.
That has been debunked. Like,
And I'm on
yes,
fucking vacation. I'm going to
right.
eat the goddamn all you can eat sushi, mom.
Exactly. Like, didn't you just stuff a fucking cheese roll in your face? Come on, man.
Right.
Let's be even here, right?
Yes.
So yeah, that whole like the reverse parenting, I
Mhm.
think is the proper term here.
Mhm.
They're saying things,
Mhm.
but it just doesn't have any real value anymore.
Right.
But you still have to listen to it.
Yes.
You still have to hear it, and you have to pretend like you give a shit. And
Even if you don't.
if you don't, though, then that's when the real fun starts.
Uh-huh. The
Yes.
secret conversations, the texting, you better talk to your mother before I slap her kind of things
Oh,
going on.
so many
Yeah.
things. So many
Yeah.
things. Yes.
Well, that leads me into my next point, is that you always have those family members who don't give a shit who they offend. And now you're stuck on a fucking vacation with them. It's not like you're at Thanksgiving at grandma's house where, Uncle Ned is spewing his mouth off and you can go on a walk or something, or like go out on the balcony and take a shot of tequila to get over it. Like,
Right.
you're fucking stuck. So in that situation, you're just constantly on edge because you don't know what they're going to say or how it's going to be dealt with the group.
Or how you have to apologize for it in
Right.
secret.
Right, exactly.
And try to explain that things were different
Right.
in another day.
Exactly. And especially if you're the other. Like, if you're on their family vacation, you know what I mean? Like your partner's family vacation.
Yeah.
Like, someone might say or do something that you don't like, and you just are sitting there in your discomfort because it's not your family. It's
Right.
not your creepy Uncle Ned. It's his creepy Uncle Ned. And you don't know what you can do or say. And
Well, perceptually, you might be thinking that everybody in the room is on board with
Right.
everybody shitting themselves right now.
Exactly, yeah.
or whatever Ned says.
Right.
You know.
And we had a moment like that in the recent past where someone on your side said something, and it wasn't even that bad, but like it was just something that rubbed me the wrong way, and I just had to sit there and be like, what the fuck? And you weren't even in the room. So I had to text you and be like, I don't know what to say here, and then you had to like swoop in and kind of diffuse the situation. But it's so awkward because it's like, this is your family member. I don't want to fight with them or like call them out on their bullshit because they're not my family member to do that for.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like, you're being awful. Shut up. And I know, like, you've dealt with that on my side too, because my fucking family says some shit too. And it's like, how do you fucking deal with it? It's when you're on this trip or you're at this family reunion, you're fucking stuck. There's if you call them out, shit's gonna blow up, and then you're gonna be the one that ruined the family trip. At least that's what happens to me, because it's always me that ruins it.
Yeah, I mean, I think I have a certain line that I draw. I guess I just chalk it up to entertainment
Right.
for the most part.
Yeah.
In a lot of cases, and I think I've done very well with that in the past, with the scenarios that we've had to deal with.
Yeah.
Whew, the scenarios we've had to deal
Oh,
with.
yes.
So yeah, I do try to just kind of ignore it, but some things you just can't ignore. Like the things that make you feel less of a person or like you're not being you.
Right.
Like I refuse to not be me.
Right.
And if somebody, and I don't care if somebody has an opinion and it's just in passing, but if somebody like directly like highlights something about me or the way I do things and questions that in a public setting, now you're setting yourself up for failure.
Right.
Because I'm going to fuck you up.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
I don't care who's watching, who's listening, and I'm going to do it in a diplomatic way. And,
Right.
and in a lot of cases, people don't know they're getting told off by me.
Yeah.
They really don't.
Or if they're insulting me, that's another time.
Oh yeah, don't do that. That's not good for anybody.
I've seen. We were just talking about the systematic takedown of one certain family member of mine in Vegas by you.
Yes.
It was so good.
Yes.
But yeah, it sucks because you're just that's the whole thing. You're just stuck.
Yeah.
And it sounds like a great idea, but it's not. And to round it all out, you have zero privacy. Like, I don't care if you're staying in a hotel, if you're staying at someone's house, if you're staying at a cabin, if you're camping, if you have your own room, whatever, you're all in the same vicinity. You're
Mm.
all running into each other. You're all doing. Even when we went to Vegas and everybody was on their own trip, how many times did we run into people on the Vegas trip? Not meaning to. We weren't even on the same vacation, but it happened. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just bound to happen. So at a certain point, it doesn't even feel like a vacation anymore. You're not. It's not relaxing. It's not fun. You're just stuck with your family. And then you have to go back to work. And there's no recovery from that.
Right.
It sucks.
Yeah, I think I have experienced
Okay.
this scenario where it was big too.
Oh, yeah.
It was with my ex. God, what was this? 2005. We went on a Caribbean cruise. There was probably about 60 of us.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay, it was all her family.
Okay.
It was me and all of them. So yeah, it was me and all of them, and we had to fly to Puerto Rico. Did we? Yeah, we flew directly to Puerto Rico, from Delaware, I think it was.
Okay.
I can't. Yeah, whatever it was. Anyway, but point is, the reason I get into that is because we all had these very stylish shirts
Oh, my
that
God.
were
No.
highlighting that we were on a family vacation.
Oh.
Nothing screams, "Don't go near them," like a similar colored shirt.
Yes.
You know they're together,
Uh-huh.
and yeah, it's really fun. But yeah, so we went on a cruise, and there was 60 of us on this cruise.
Jesus
Okay,
Christ.
so every fucking time you turn around, there's someone there, and that was okay. I was okay with that part. I had no problem with running into people. It was kind of fun because you just have like little
people to hang out
vacations
with,
and
yeah.
vacations,
Yeah.
right? Night one, I got
Oh,
hammered.
no.
Hammered. Congo line, sitting at the bar till 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Da, 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 da. So this was a Halloween cruise. So
Spooky.
it's actually very topical.
Mm.
Check that out. So I missed the Halloween ball.
Okay.
Didn't leave my room until about 10 o'clock the next day.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure you can imagine.
Yeah.
A hangover.
Uh-huh.
But a hangover on water
Ugh.
in big boat.
No, thank you.
No, not fun. But anyways, the point was, it was just this huge thing, and it's very simple, very, 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 very simple to make an ass of yourself,
Yes.
in front of a lot of people at the same time when you are in a boat.
Yes.
Even it don't matter how big that boat is, they're gonna see you, and it's just not fun. It's yeah. I mean, I guess it was okay. I mean, we made the best of it. We didn't have to pay for it, so I
Right,
think
yeah.
at the right at the bat, right off the front, we're just like, all right, cool, whatever. I don't care who's here. We go to island hiking, spiders.
Spiders.
So yes, I've done this, and the shirt was fun.
It sounds terrible.
Yeah, it.
Yes.
Woo.
So this next point I put under family vacations, and the only reason I did that is because we don't have any. So the only time that this would be applicable to us is if it was some sort of family vacation, but like kids. You're on vacation and there's kids around. For us, that would only ever happen if we were to go on a family vacation, which we would never do anyway. But I guess the reason that I just bring it up in general is we don't like kids. We generally don't go near them. But, like, just for everybody else out there, stop bringing your kids to inappropriate places. You're ruining it for everybody else. Like, you really are. Do you remember that freaking UFO alien-themed winery that we went to in Santa Barbara when we were on our honeymoon?
Yes.
And it was so fun. And then that freaking lady came in with her baby and her toddler, and the toddler was running around the whole place. And we were like, okay, well, this isn't fun anymore. We gotta go. Like, why are you bringing your child there? You're
Yes.
ruining my vacation. Ugh.
Yeah, well, I think that really boils down to kind of what I said earlier.
Mhm.
The word vacation.
Yes.
It somehow makes parents think that they don't have children anymore.
Right.
Like, if your intent, and I understand, like you wanna have a drink, whatever, you gotta unwind a little bit. Do it in a family restaurant.
Right.
Don't do it in a specialized
Chili's.
wine tasting bar.
Yes.
Like, don't do that. But yeah, it's just like the parents just check out.
Mm-hmm.
They feel like they're on vacation,
Mm-hmm.
especially when they're in larger groups. That like
Yeah.
that promotes it even more. It's like, all
Because
right, yeah, they'll take care of it.
right, yeah, the kids will entertain themselves or whatever. That's just like, go to Disneyland for
Yeah.
God's sake. There's places for you to take your children, and I'm not. People are gonna hate on us for even bringing this up because people love to hate on child-free people, but like, I don't expect a child-free world. I just expect to have adult-only places sometimes. You know.
I mean, I feel the same.
That's why I
and
moved to San Francisco. There's more dogs than kids here.
that yes, 100%. I don't hate on people bringing kids on vacation.
No.
They are meant to be there as well.
Yes.
Just fucking parent them.
Right.
Don't be a tool bag and
Right.
just let them run amok. Like, I'm fine with that. Just don't bring your fucking demon spawn and allow him to get his
Sticky fingers all over me.
or whatever. Like, so many things. Don't touch it. Leave it alone.
Ugh.
No. Sorry, I had to get that out.
Every time I talk about little kids, all I smell is oatmeal because kids just smell like oatmeal all the time. So gross.
I'm glad I still can't smell from COVID. So I found some fun stuff
Okay.
about this topic.
Yeah.
So we're gonna, let's see. This is a very weird topic. I
Okay.
get it to a certain extent, but I don't get it.
Okay.
All right.
Uh-huh.
So one of these is very common. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and start with that one. I didn't really think about the progression of this conversation, but we're just gonna jump into it.
Okay.
So you have the divorce.
Yes.
Okay. So now you have a split family, right? But people still want to see the kids. People, the grandparents on both sides, parents on both sides, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
So the families come together for the kids, quote unquote.
Okay.
Let's see here. Little article I was looking at. So I spent the holidays with my new husband and ex's family to create priceless memories for our kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't. These people must have like really healthy families because like.
This is just a very common thing.
Yeah.
Like people think that they're doing the right thing for the kids, and they might be. I mean, some couples may be able to pull this off, but for me, it's just it's a little weird. But I
Yeah.
understand this one.
Yeah.
And it is common. So
Yeah.
now you've added this extra layer. Like let's just say like me, I had a kid.
Yeah.
And I'm expected to take you to said family
Okay.
or whatever it is, and my ex has to be there.
Mhm.
And I got, if she has a husband or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's like co-parenting, but it just.
Well, I mean, you got to think of like the this is like the gloves go on moment, but everything else is gloves off. Like
Right.
that's what I'm thinking in my head. Like I don't see where this works. And like I said, I'm sure that there's plenty of families that can make this happen. But I can only imagine the shit that's talked as soon as one person leaves a room.
Right.
Yeah, there's not a lot here in this article, but the
Okay.
point was just the fact that they do it.
Yeah.
Like it's just like how I don't know. I just that would be just so weird to me.
I just keep thinking, thank God I don't have to deal with that.
Yeah. So now that was the intro
Mhm.
to the next piece of this
Mhm.
family vacation scenario. Well, I guess this is no kids.
Okay.
All right, this is the no kid version.
Okay.
So the first one was with the kids,
Mhm.
but the second version is the in-laws keep inviting the ex.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All
Got
right.
it.
So in your scenario, your partner's parents are still inviting my ex.
Right.
Okay. Now that I don't know
Yeah.
about all this.
It happens. There's entanglements and things. I can think of one situation where things are just so entangled, and then the exes become exes, and you can't un-exit from the family.
Yeah. That's I guess that's a thing. I don't know if there's like some remorse, or I mean, not really remorse, but I I guess just maybe they just feel bad. I don't know. Maybe this person, doesn't have family on this side of the country, and
Right.
whatever. There's so many, but I don't care.
I mean, there's so many that maybe they're a family friend. Maybe you dated your mom's best friend's son, and she's not going to stop being your mom's best friend.
Yeah,
You know?
that's fair. So yeah, they just walk through like a couple of things here. Ways to get through this.
Okay.
I think it really is. So one is get your mind right.
Right.
I guess just erase all the negativity and anxiety that you've built up.
Yeah.
In anticipation.
Yeah.
I think there's only so much preparing you can do. I think this really has to depend on the ex's mentality. I think that could have a big factor there.
Yeah.
Know who you are. Understand you're confident. Wait. We understand you're confident. Can take a hit during this time. But remember, you are his love now, and you must own that and check your insecurities at the door. But you let them like bring up one of those like inside jokes that they had,
Right.
or something stupid like that, and you see that little like that lingering of what was left over. Maybe it was an accident, whatever it was, but it happens. You see it, it's not good. Fuck you guys. So that's kind of my thought on that. Take the high road is another one.
Okay.
Bickering and bad attitudes won't help anyone.
Uh-huh.
Okay, well, then don't be a dumbass.
Right.
I am the new trophy, so go away. Kill her with kindness. I guess
I was getting ready for just kill her.
I guess we're speaking about a her in this scenario.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware. So just be very nice to them. Look and feel fly. That's what it says.
When was this article written?
I don't know, but I think that was funny. I saw that and I'm like, this is the one I'm going with. Make your presence known. So like,
I'm here now.
yeah, just be like our cat Pete's. This is where I am.
Mark your territory.
So
Pee
foster
on his leg.
the relationship with his family throughout the year. Which again, no.
No thanks. I'm good. Once a year's enough.
And if all else fails, have the talk.
Where do babies come from?
When a man and a woman meet, birds, bees, babies. There it is. Anybody ever write that book?
John, she has a socket.
I got time for this right now, Mom. So have the talk, right? So I guess this is more or less like if it's just unbearable, like it's time to bring it up.
Yeah.
For me, I think I have my own approach for things like this.
Okay.
Like I said earlier, I have a tendency to just very diplomatically tell people off. But I also have a very keen observation of waiting for people to cue themselves up for disaster and just leaning into it. Like,
Right.
I wait for those moments and I'm just like, look what they did. They didn't take their shoes off at the door. They've known this for 20 years. I know, I was with them for 17. I'll just wait for that moment. No,
Oh, you're dumb.
just kidding. That was from me. I'm talking about from your perspective. But yeah, I feel like there's fun to be had
Yes.
in that scenario. Now the last step, and I didn't find anything for this, but this is more of like a replacement
Okay.
of you. So the family vacation, they don't invite you. They invite the ex.
That's some toxic mother-in-law shit.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I see here is yeah, I mean, I know we just talked about it, like the Gilmore Girls grandparents. Like, I could see them doing some shit like that. But regardless, like in any case, like you probably did some fucked up shit to deserve that.
Either that or their family is fucked up.
That's what I meant.
You don't deserve it.
That's
Oh,
why
okay.
I started with the Gilmore Girls.
Okay.
Thing. Like some people are just fucking twisted.
Yeah.
But in most cases, like you probably deserved it.
Right.
You're just not a good person. I don't know.
If everybody stops inviting you on vacation, maybe it's time to look at yourself.
Yeah.
All right, I'm sick of talking about families. It's not my favorite topic. So let's move on to the real vacation.
Yay.
We're going to talk about the first trip that you take together.
Mm-hmm.
Dun dun dun. There is a lot of pressure on vacationing together as a couple, especially early on, especially when it's the first one. I always think of The Office, Jim and Pam, their first night away together is at Shroot Farms, and whatever. That's just what I think of. But the possibility that this is like the longest amount of time that you've spent together puts a lot of pressure on you. And also, traveling can be stressful, and traveling with someone new for the first time and you don't know how they travel is also very stressful. Like, I am a get to the airport 3-4 hours before my flight kind of person. If you are I'll show up at the gate 10 minutes before the flight leaves kind of person, we're not gonna vibe, all right? And you just sometimes you don't know that till you're going on the trip. It's supposed to be fun, and then it turns into not fun. And one of those things is sex. Vacation sex
Mm-hmm.
is a big pressure because sex is fun, vacation sex is fun, but you have this added layer of like, okay, we're on vacation and it's sexy and we're like by the beach and the sun is setting and I have to be sexy and this has to be like the best sex, like a bodice ripping paperback or there's no point, you know? Like, that's how I feel, at least felt early on, that it had to be like that, like, you know, build up. Like, you read the romantic novel and finally they're on their vacation and there's one bed in the hotel room and they just like go at it and it's like mind blowing. But it's not always like that. Vacations are tiring.
Yeah, I didn't read that book.
I read a lot of these books.
Yeah, I did not read this. No, I think I've never put a lot of emphasis on vacation sex.
Mhm.
I like putting my energy in places that I can't do at home. Um,
Right, yeah.
there's exceptions. Obviously, I'm not a total fucking prude, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't. That's not why we went there. I mean,
Right.
well, unless that's why you went
Unless
there.
that's why you went there. Yes.
Right. Yes. The fucking Poconos, you know, whatever. Fucking 8-foot champagne
Yeah.
jacuzzi. Yes. You came here for a reason.
Right.
Now, going to, you know, Mexico and exploring ancient ruins, I would rather do that.
Well, it's like when we accidentally booked that sex dungeon in New York.
Right.
The point of that trip was to go to the Taylor Swift Grammy Museum. But by nighttime, when we were a little, you know, I'm going to say a little tipsy, when we were hammered and we made our way back to that sex dungeon, I mean, what else are you going to do but have sex in the dungeon, right?
Did we?
We did.
Oh, I don't remember.
A lot.
All right.
But then on the flip side, I always think about our wedding. And with the weddings, it's very, very common. Like, there's the whole cliche about your wedding night, but like most people don't have sex on their wedding night because you're exhausted because you just fucking got married, right?
Yeah.
But we had a destination wedding. We had a whole week. And we did not once have sex when we were in Vegas. And that was a point of insecurity. But it wasn't for any reason other than, one, we were getting married. We had a shit ton of stuff to do. We were exhausted every single day. And I was sick. So it's like, what the hell? Why am I putting this pressure on myself just because I'm in a hotel room, just because I'm about to put a ring on my finger? Now all of a sudden it means something if I'm not having sex? That's where, you know, where it is in my brain. But I think just especially like the very first trip that you go on, everything's still new, you know what I mean? That's when I feel like the pressure of sex and needing to be super sexy and like the draw to go have sex on the beach when really, you know, you're both just gonna fucking get sand fleas and just that's what I'm thinking about there.
Right.
Gross.
Yeah, I was looking at this the first trip thing. I mean, obviously I had my initial idea of, you know, what could be unsettling,
Yes.
to say the least, as part of a first trip with somebody. But I did find, you know, some other things that are probably worthwhile examples. So this list here, it just a couple of things. What is this? 12 challenges of traveling with your partner for the first time and how to overcome them. So getting overwhelmed by travel stress is number one.
Okay.
obviously, we know
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
we've had that problem before. To overcome travel stress, you're on vacation with a partner. He says, even if something goes wrong, appreciate the bigger picture and take solace in it. Remain calm, and your partner will feed off of your positive vibes as strongly as they will if you project stress.
Yes.
Bullshit. I call bullshit. This is lame. Next, finding that you may not like all the same activities.
Oh, yep, I have that.
That's absolutely a thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me and you, it's like, you maybe, I don't know, are you like the beach cocktail kind of vacationer?
I'm a mix of both.
Yeah.
I like relaxation,
Hmm.
but I also am here to do something.
Right.
You know, I'm a good mix of both.
Yeah, I don't like beaches.
Yeah, I know.
I like to look at them
Mhm.
like from a distance.
Mhm.
But yeah, as far as the act of being at a beach, it's disgusting. I hate it.
Yeah.
Um,
If we were to go to Mexico, I would have a day at the beach by myself, and you would go do something by yourself, probably.
I mean, I would go to the beach. I don't like it. I don't enjoy it. It's not my thing. But it's a paired
Yes.
vacation, so
Yes.
you kind of have to do things.
Mhm.
So here's a good one. Finding out you're really not that compatible at all.
Yes.
That's fun.
That's what I was saying. It might be the longest period of time you spend together.
Yeah.
And there you go. You probably don't live together yet. It happens.
Yeah, I'm not gonna read like how to get around these things.
Yeah, no.
I think
You
it's
can figure it
pretty
out for yourself.
Clear, you should know that before you spend thousands of dollars on a vacation.
Yes.
Or tens of thousands in some cases.
Mhm.
And you're expecting too much from yourself.
Right.
That's fun.
Mhm.
I don't know if I've ever done that. Probably.
Yeah.
I am that.
Yeah.
I am that person to
Yes.
a T. Never
Yes.
mind. Running out of things to talk about.
Okay, yeah.
That's a good one.
Mhm.
Really, I think you just need more alcohol, personally. If you don't have anything to talk about with the person you're with, you'll find someone to talk to.
Right. Well, that's another thing that I think is an issue early on, because when you are together for a while, you get to that point of comfortable silence,
Yeah.
where you can like be in a car for 2 hours and just like listen to music or a podcast and just relax and don't feel the need to be like, so what was your first day of kindergarten like?
Yes, I think this next one, it goes back to something that we were saying earlier, is finding out how you have different motives for wanting to go away.
Okay, yeah.
So the beach
Mhm.
versus hiking through ancient, ruins or
Yeah.
some crazy shit like that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have here. Like, maybe you just realize you like to vacation differently.
Yes.
You can be going to the same place but have different expectations of what you're going to be doing there. Like, maybe I plan to be at the pool with a margarita in my hand for 3 days, and you wanted to go hiking in the rainforest and visit historical sites. And then you get to a point where you either spend half of your trip unhappy because you're doing shit you didn't want to do with the other person, or you're without the person you came there to be with.
Right.
So maybe figure that out.
Right. So 7, running over budget on the trip.
Okay.
I could see that being a thing.
Yeah.
It's really easy to spend money.
Uh-huh.
And whoever is spending the majority of the money, being in a situation where you're like, yeah, we're not going to dinner tonight.
Right. Yeah.
Or I'm just going to go broke taking you to dinner.
Yes.
That's probably more realistic.
Just go to an all-inclusive.
Yes.
Pay up front.
yes. Wanting to document every single moment of your trip.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's 2 different types of people with that too, isn't there? Because we're kind of 2 different types of people when it comes to that. You're the type of person who wants to take pictures of everything that we see and do and whatever. I'm the one that wants to take pictures of us in front of whatever we're seeing.
Yeah, I'm not a selfie person.
No.
Nope.
Every once in a while, I get one out of him.
I'll let you do a Yui. I'm out. Failing to plan ahead and having a huge argument because of it.
Okay. Getting to the airport late.
I don't know. I was going to read this, but I'm just like, nope, moving on. I'm getting bored with this fucking list. It's really not that great.
It just sounds like people who don't know how to life.
Right.
In general.
Like, this should be the list of, like, do you know the person's name before you go on vacation? Do they make the money? Do they spend the money?
Yes.
Okay. Vacation.
Woohoo!
Needing some alone time
Mhm.
is number 10.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I don't. I'm actually kind of. I lost the point of this list. Like, what was the point of this? So,
Problems that you run into when you go away together.
challenges of traveling.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. I'm like, why are we having this conversation? This list is shit.
Yeah. Well, again, I think a lot of it is just issues that you're more likely to have early on because needing alone time, I mean, I'm not afraid to tell you if I need alone time. And also, back to that comfortable silence, I could consider alone time us. We're spending time together, but we're not talking to each other. I can still consider that alone time
Look,
because I'm in my head.
I'm not going to finish the rest of this list because I think it's just shit. But the reason that I went into this is to highlight the things that other people think of, because the only thing that I could think of was taking a shit.
Right.
That's the one thing.
It's true.
Like you're drinking a lot.
Uh-huh.
You are eating new things,
You
possibly
drank the water.
I mean anything,
Mexico?
right?
Yeah.
Right? And you could have it like, I think we had a sliding door on our bathroom for the first vacation. Yeah. There's no hiding.
No.
And we're in a different country, so putting the TV on for background noise is just a dead giveaway. Like, I don't understand this language.
Yes.
But I just need it here so that you don't hear me shit.
I will tell you that probably the most disgusting place in the entire world is the lobby bathroom, women's lobby bathroom in any all-inclusive resort, because every girlfriend that's on vacation with her boyfriend is going to that bathroom to take her shits.
That's funny. I guess they didn't tell the dudes about this.
It is the most used toilets on the islands.
Yes, I mean that was my big thing. Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing, and I think we covered it, is if this is like the first, like, because not everybody lived with each other like we did.
Yeah.
When we went on our first vacation.
Right. Exactly.
You start to learn some things, some habits, some, I don't know, like for me, for instance, my CPAP.
Right.
Good times. I didn't have it then, so it was just snoring. So it was so much better.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
Nighttime routines, shower routines, what time you typically wake up in the morning. Yeah, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. All right. So this seemed to be maybe a little better. It was 9 mistakes that could ruin your romantic couples trip. Okay. So this is the trip we want to go on together. All right. But like we said earlier, not defining a purpose for the trip can be a problem.
Yes.
Is this a sexy time trip?
Right.
Is it a hiking through ruins trip? Or is it an ignoring each other trip? Who knows? And this goes back to the other, not creating a budget. But I mean, I don't know. I find that would, for an established relationship,
right,
that I think is like looking for like a romantic getaway. Like this seems a little weird. I don't know who this was written for.
Well, maybe you're both paying your own way. We never did that. You took me on vacation, then I took you on vacation. But some people, like, they split it, so they have to have a budget because maybe one person makes more money or whatever.
Yeah, I guess so. I'm trying to see the context of this, and it's not like married couples who have been together for 10 plus years. It's just romantic couples trips. So letting one person do all the planning.
Which is what I always do.
Yes, but you have a good partner planner.
Yes.
I take into consideration things that you would like to do. I guess not all people do that.
Right.
I'm going to surprise you with a romantic getaway.
No, thank you.
NASCAR day 2. I mean, that might work for some chicks, That wasn't very inclusive of me, sorry.
You look like you're at a NASCAR race right now.
I bet I do. Diving into long or group trips too soon.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Maybe a long trip. But I don't know, maybe the group trip thing? I don't know.
Well, you don't know each other's friends,
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I could be involved with, never mind.
Because you are, yes.
5, not limiting technology and work time. So
okay,
I could see that being a thing to ruin a romantic vacation. Oh, yes. Let's go back to number 4. Diving into too long or a group trip. This is a romantic getaway. No group.
Right.
No group.
Unless
Bad.
you're into it.
Well, yes. But that is a different episode. And then the long portion of it, that's what she said, going on too long of a trip.
Yeah.
to start.
Yeah.
A romantic getaway has to have boundaries.
3 days. 4 tops.
Something.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Otherwise, it's going to fall off.
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest here.
You're going to
Getting
start
old.
fighting eventually.
Number 6, having a jam-packed schedule.
Mm-hmm.
We were victims of this. We did this a lot.
Yeah.
In our first few.
Yes.
But I know as we progressed,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe age has something. I don't know.
Age. Yeah, definitely.
Maybe something has to do
Wisdom.
with it. But we like to give ourselves some space now,
Mm-hmm.
and optional
Yes.
activities.
Yes.
So if there's we had a really hard day doing a hike the day before,
Mm-hmm.
which we've done.
Mm-hmm.
The next day, we didn't actually plan this as an optional, but we ended up losing money. But it was worth it because
Right.
we had a really good time the day before.
Right.
Plan for that shit. Forgetting to check in with one another.
Okay.
Whoa, this is a romantic relationship.
How are you feeling?
Once you're actually on the trip, check in with each other and ask what you're enjoying or not so much. Okay.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
All right. So you're basically just like rating your current experience,
Right.
1 to 10, and
Right.
and maybe we can make this better.
I'm enjoying the pina coladas, but I could do without the fingers in my asshole.
Again, I think we're on the wrong episode here. Something's happening with my co-host here. I'm not sure. All right, spending too much time together. I think that number 8. There it is.
Mhm.
That's what's happening here.
We're spending too much time together.
Yeah, apparently you start sticking your fingers in your ass when you spend too much time with people. Number 9, not discussing challenges in the moment. I love this one.
Ugh,
Yes,
I hate this one.
that is why I kept this list.
I hate
This
you.
is the one. Yes.
This is just gonna turn into an Emily is emotionally stunted lecture.
No. I just think that having discussions in proximity is very important.
Mhm.
If something happened that you didn't like,
Mhm.
if my cat knocked something over while I was in bed and I wake up and smack him for it, he has no idea what he did. None whatsoever.
Don't smack my cats.
I didn't. That's what I'm saying. I don't do this. I do it in the moment. If I catch you, you're fucking dead. But no, you have to do things while they're still relevant
Mhm.
because you have the feelings.
Yeah.
If you try to talk about this tomorrow or next week or after the trip's over, you're not going to remember.
And then it's just resentment.
Right.
Yeah, at that point.
Yes. And if you try to bring it up, you're not going to remember the story as it was.
Right.
And you can't tell the other person that they were wrong because they're not going to remember. And right now I can tell you word for word what you said to me, and I'm going to.
Right. Okay. Fair.
That's it.
All right.
9 ways to 9 mistakes that could ruin your romantic couple's trip
Going on it with John.
with me.
All
You're welcome.
right. So you made it through your first trip together. You didn't kill each other. You're still together.
And you know what they sound like when they shit.
Yes. If you live in a 1-bedroom apartment, you might already know that. But how do you decide on future trips? Because that's, where are we going to go on vacation? How do you do it? For us, I think the only time we couldn't decide, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the only time we couldn't quite decide was our honeymoon. Because I remember that when we first were talking about it, you really wanted to go on a cruise. And I really didn't want to go on a cruise.
Well, thank God we didn't.
Right, I was going to say.
We would have been the fucking the
I was 100% right. Because if we had gone on a European cruise in December 2019, we probably would have gotten quarantined and died of COVID.
on a boat
On a boat.
in international waters.
Exactly. I was 100% right about that. So thank you very much.
Fair enough.
Anyway,
Yeah.
The only reason I was even thinking was I was trying to remember how we chose it was because I think all of our other trips that we've gone on have been like for a reason, right?
Yeah, no, I think now probably puts us in a more challenging
Yeah.
decision-making process.
Yeah.
Just because now our families are on the East Coast, we're on the West Coast.
Okay, so since we never really had to do this, I had to hit the Googs to get some advice on what do you do when you disagree on a vacation spot. So what the internet says is keep in mind what the partner with a lower budget is willing to spend and be ready to make up for what they can't if you're insisting on something they can't afford. Not really applicable to us
No.
Because we don't do that?
No.
But I mean, sure, yeah, it makes sense. If you're really rich and I'm not, and we are splitting things, then I can't go to Dubai with you. I can afford to go to, the Jersey Shore, and that's it. So, sure, okay, great. Um, be willing to compromise. So you should both have things on the itinerary that you're looking forward to. Uh, you can take turns. So like I picked last year's trip, so you pick this year's trip, and we just go back and forth. That's a pretty solid compromise, I think.
I do like that, and I think there has to be some sort of like you have to be aligned on certain things that you like doing.
Yeah.
Like we've already kind of gone through. I wish I could have better words for this right now, but the vetting process, like I don't know what the hell you want to call it.
Right.
We just like similar shit.
Yeah.
And we're willing to accept the undesirable things that might happen during this vacation. But that's just because we want each other to still enjoy the things that they like.
Yeah,
we like.
It's just because we're perfect and have a perfect relationship.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they said be respectful of boundaries. So, no, I am not hiking Mount Everest with you. Stop asking.
Fair enough.
I'm not going to go on a cruise. Ain't gonna happen. And then something that I thought of that is maybe you're not fighting over where you should go, but you do, I know, like we do, we'll be like watching a movie and we'll be like, oh God, I want to go to Ireland. And then like, oh God, I want to go to Portugal. Oh, I want to go to Thailand. Oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. Write them down, put them in a jar, put them in a Google Doc, put them in a randomizer. And when it's time to pick your vacation, just pick one out. You already know you both want to go there. You said it a million times. You just forgot because now it's time to pick someplace and your mind goes blank.
Yes.
That's a pretty solid idea, right?
No, I like that.
Yeah.
I think that could work.
Yeah, it's like throwing a dart at a map, kind of, but a more controlled situation.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess the alternative here is you don't agree
Right.
on where you want to vacation.
Yeah. And then what do you do?
I don't know.
Right.
Why don't you tell me?
You go on a solo vacation.
It's the worst one ever.
So this is actually what sparked my interest in this topic in the first place, was people who go on vacations without their partners. And there's a couple different ways we can do this, so I'm going to break it down. But basically, I saw on the interwebs that 59% of couples say that they have vacationed without their partner. You've got the friends trip. So, in my opinion, this is either the most innocent or the worst type of vacation to take without your partner, depending on the context.
Okay. I'm intrigued.
So, I've gone on a lot of friends trips, actually, since we've been together. I don't think you've gone on any without me, but I've gone weekends, because my friends live far closer to where we used to live than you, but I've gone on weekends to DC, bachelorette parties, stuff like that. So the good side of it is that trips with friends become more important the older we get and the more responsibility we take on. You don't see them as often. You live on other sides of the country. So if you have traditions of getting together or doing stuff, it becomes more important than it was when you were younger and you were in school and you would see each other every day, right? You're creating memories and connections with people who are important to you. And when you're doing a friends trip without your partner, it helps you to ground yourself and remember who you are outside of your relationship, like who you are as an individual, like not as a wife, not as a girlfriend, not as a mom, just as Emily, right? But they're not always wholesome, especially if your friends are bad influences. So there's a lot of worry that could come up, right? So like not having your partner there might push you to do things that you wouldn't normally do, like drugs maybe, heavy drinking, going to a club and dancing with someone else, not super great things. That has a lot to do with who you are as a person, in my opinion, but, it happens. And then you've got bachelor and bachelorette parties, which are sometimes great and sometimes not, right? So it's possible that if, like, say it's your bachelor party, that your friends don't respect you and your partner's boundaries. Like, we said we're not hiring strippers, but your friends don't give a shit that we said that and they hire you a stripper anyway, right? Like that shit kind of happens. Not having the other person around in a fairly sexual context. So you've got strippers. You've got the whole like last night of freedom. You've got penises and vaginas everywhere. You've got, all that fucking shit, right? So it happens all the time. Like lots of cheating, people hooking up with their exes, calling their exes and hooking up with them because they're like, oh god, this is my last night of freedom. I gotta get it in. Blowing the Thunder from Down Under guy backstage. That shit happens all the time. It's just, not super great. Even when you do your bachelor/bachelorette parties together, it can still lead to mayhem that ends the relationship. But this is from, I think, from a BuzzFeed article or something. I found it, but basically it says the bachelor party and the bachelorette party were being held in the same hotel in New Orleans. They begin at 8 p.m. and collide drunkenly at about 3 a.m. It was some kind of drunken orgy, and everyone was so ashamed the next morning they called it off. So, I mean, that could happen.
Yeah.
Couldn't imagine wanting to have an orgy with your friends, but
yeah,
it apparently happens.
That's an odd one.
Yeah,
for sure.
But that one apparently they made up and got married 6 months later, so it has a happy ending. So there you go.
So why do you lie about how you?
Exactly. That's who we were talking about.
Yes, that's how you got married. That was the snafu I kept having was looking at other events outside of the way you met and why you would lie about those. And there goes one right there.
It's not always a great time to be separated from your partner, but that brings me to the thing that got me interested in the first place. People who intentionally vacation without each other.
Mm-hmm.
And by that I mean they're both on vacation. They're just not with each other. So like you go to Maui and he goes to Alaska. Is it an issue that you want to take separate trips? I don't know. I mean, I think for me it would be, because as we just established, we get a little depressy when we're not with each other.
I think it really, okay. So if we're talking vacation,
Mm-hmm.
like vacation,
Mm-hmm.
then I do feel like there's a disconnect.
Right.
Like there's something that's not jiving very well. I mean, I'm sure that there's circumstances
Mm-hmm.
that maybe I have like a big work trip or
Mm-hmm.
something that I need to do,
Mm-hmm.
which is still going to have some level of fun that's involved with it. Outings, excursions, whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
the friggin' Dream Force, like
Right.
something like that.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like if you wanted to go like do something on your own while I was doing that, I don't think I would have a problem with that.
Right.
But if you're intentionally like setting up separate vacations,
Right.
Yeah, I don't really know. I mean, again, circumstantially or situationally, whatever you want to, whichever one works. If I was like an extremist and I did want to go climb, Mount Everest or something like that, and that's just something that you never had the ambition to do, it was never on your bucket list. Okay.
Yeah.
That's like one of those, like, it's a bucket list item / I mean, conquering the world kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, if that was something that you wanted to do like your whole life, absolutely. I would support that wholeheartedly. But if we're trying to plan something and it's like, well, I just want to go to Aruba and you just want to go to Ireland.
Yeah. And you get in a fight about it,
Right.
and then you just end up booking different trips.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's a flag. That's a red flag.
Yeah, that's kind of what I said. I said I think that you have to ask yourself why. Why do I want to go on a separate trip from my partner? Why do I, what's going on? So, like, there's the people who maybe before they were together, like, took regular solo trips and enjoyed traveling by themselves, and maybe they just like their alone time, and it's not about not being with their partner as much as it is being alone with themselves. So as if you're open and honest about that, okay, I can get that. I think it's also possible that, maybe you go on your first trip and you realize that you do vacation very differently, and it's just more enjoyable for both of you if you just do different stuff.
But you can be on the same vacation and do different stuff.
You can, but there, some people...
It's called compromise. Like,
I'm just saying
No, I know. I'm
that is one way that if you set a healthy boundary, that I could consider that being okay. A valid reason as to why, like, maybe I really love the snow and you really love the sand and there is no in between. So I go to Antarctica and you go to Jamaica. And that's just how it is. But if you do that, you gotta make sure both of you are happy with the idea, and you again have to have boundaries. Like, do we text each other? Do we call each other? Do we FaceTime? Can we make friends? Can we have meals with other people? Like, what's going on here, you know? If we're going separate, are we fully on our own or what?
Yeah, I think that should be triggering a larger conversation. Open marriage,
Yeah.
not marriage.
Right. But then to your point about the Mount Everest thing, like another reason that I think could be a good reason is maybe you just really want to do something that they just don't.
Yeah.
Like maybe they could care less about Niagara Falls, but you have to see it before you die.
Mhm.
Okay, go by yourself. Sure. Fine.
But
Great.
I'm still failing to see like the compromise. Like what? I mean, do you see Niagara Falls as racist? Like,
It was just an example that I thought of.
no, I'm just saying in general though. Like, not every vacation is going to be for you.
Right. No, I know.
And that's where it's like, all right, you know, are you an actual couple? Like,
But you have to think some people aren't as great at compromising on the minute things. I think we are with
well,
stuff
that's
like
not
that.
a minute thing. That's a vacation. That's like,
The nitty gritty details of a vacation. Some people, if they're taking the time off work, they're spending their 4 days hiking and that's it. And if they do anything else, they're not going to be happy about it. And so for them, the compromise is okay. Well, we're going to be spending these 4 days apart then, because that's not what I want to do. And I think, you know, maybe it's not the most conventional choice, but to say that it's necessarily wrong.
okay, well, look, let's put some parameters on this.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
We're not talking about somebody who has 4 days of vacation in 10 years. All
Okay.
right. We're talking about people that have, you know, upwards of 4 to 5 weeks of vacation a year,
Mhm.
and they have money,
Mhm.
and they can basically do what they want.
Okay, fair.
Okay. We're
All
not
right.
we're not talking about other,
Mhm.
you know, like less fortunate
Mhm.
folks. Like 7-Eleven doesn't give vacation. Okay, I get it. I understand, you know?
Yeah.
But we're not talking about that demographic here anymore. We talked about that at the beginning when we
Okay.
were talking about first vacations.
Okay.
Now we're established.
Okay.
This is no.
Okay. I'm just saying, I'm just trying to, you know,
I know
Play
you're,
both
you're
sides.
trying to. Yeah, I get it. But
find the reason behind it.
yeah, there's only one real reason.
You don't want to be with them.
Right.
You don't want to spend time with them.
And there's so much out there that basically says, you know, look, these are red flags.
Yeah.
And I'm sure, you know, there's some people that break the boundaries and, you know, they're fully confident, whatever, da 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 da. And I'm more power to you.
Right.
But for me, I would probably start to feel some insecurities if this was going down.
Yeah.
Now, and not even the fact of just like going on separate trips, but at the same time.
Yeah.
But doing them like hey, guess what? I'm gonna go snorkel in Aruba.
Bye.
And
You're not invited.
you're not.
Right.
that so when you first brought up this topic, that's where my head was.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Like going on separate vacations.
Right.
Yes. The friend trips, you know, going to see family and having to divide and conquer. To do things like that, that's just saving the bank.
Right.
But when you're talking about actually vacationing, going to a destination and not going together, there is, and I hope somebody can correct me on this.
Yeah.
I feel like that just says that there's no compromise and you just don't enjoy spending your time
Right.
with that person.
Right.
Because even if I didn't want to go to Niagara Falls, I want to do things with you.
Right.
So I don't know where that leaves me. Maybe I should be going on my own trips. I don't know. But then I would get depressed. We already covered this. There's no winning.
No. Yeah, no, okay, I get it. I still think that if anybody does this, let us know, call us, email us if you go on separate vacations and it works for you, because I do think that there is a level of compromise there that can be had. But that being said, if you have a constant need to go on separate vacations because one or both of you feels like you just need a break from each other, or you don't want to do things together, or it wouldn't be enjoyable if you brought him along, that's probably an issue. You know, I think it's normal to fantasize about spending a week on an island without a phone by yourself sometimes.
Hey, look,
But
we all have that moment. Okay. If it's me randomly blurting out awesome songs while I'm cleaning the apartment, and you're just thinking to yourself, man, I could really be by a pool right now with a drink, and not that.
Yes, exactly.
Not that.
Right. But if the only reason you want to, if you're fantasizing about that, is because you just hate your partner, hate your husband, and hate your life, just get a divorce, babes. Break up.
Yes.
So that's what I got. That's my opinion on the subject matter. And as most episodes, I think this one just highlights how incredibly codependent I am with you.
Oh, yes, that's good. No, I have a runner up here. It's
Okay.
actually not even a runner up.
Okay.
It's just something that I found very interesting.
Okay.
So yes, I know that this came up with the solo thing, going on trips solo, but then we brought in all this other fun stuff. So I thought this had a place at the table as well.
Okay.
So this is the pre-divorce vacation. It is.
Okay.
All right. And apparently there's like a time of year where
Uh-huh.
this happens, and it's after holidays.
Right, yeah.
Da. So people feel like they have to make it through the holidays
Mhm.
for family and perception
Yeah.
and all this crap, right? And it's just stressful.
Mhm.
You and your partner are fighting, and
hate each other.
You hate each other, basically, right? And then you're like, all right, well, maybe we need a vacation
Mhm.
to just separate ourselves from all of this.
Right.
So they continue to do this thing that they do, this dance or whatever, and they're really counting on this vacation
Mhm.
being the thing that brings them back together.
It's better than a baby.
It is. Yeah, so what it looks like is March and August tend to be the common times for divorce because couples may attempt to mend relationships
Mhm.
and start fresh following winter holidays,
Right.
the New Year, or during summer.
Right.
So summertime and the holidays are generally happy times, and people raise their expectations.
Mhm.
Despite the problems inherent to a relationship or what may have happened in the past, according to the study from a University of Washington, blah, 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 that went south. I hate these articles. The point is that people, they look forward to this time
Mhm.
and they really think that it's going to do something for them.
Right.
But in the end, it's just the icing on the cake for
Yeah.
the divorce.
Yeah.
It's you go out and vacations are stressful.
Mhm. They are.
And if you already dislike each other,
It's not going to get any
that
better.
is not going to make it better.
Mhm.
You're going to be sitting at the airport. Your wife is going to ask you for water because she needs to take a pill.
Mhm.
She's dying of thirst and she just ran through a fucking airport.
Mhm.
And you're going to just be like, no, fuck you.
Yeah. Right.
I don't
Fuck
like you enough
Fuck your
for that.
water.
Yeah, go get it yourself. I hope you miss the plane while you get it.
Every day I wake up, I wish you were dead.
So that trip's over.
Yes.
No, I just thought it was a very interesting twist because people, and I never really thought about this. People use this,
Yeah.
as a mending technique, if you will.
Yeah.
But it's just a delay of what's actually going to happen.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean-
funny. Now that you bring it up, my parents went on a pre-divorce vacation.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
all good stuff, man.
Yeah.
Or you could be in another scenario, the pending divorce vacation.
okay.
This is really exposing
Uh-huh.
of me. I don't know if you even know this about me.
Oh God.
So I was in a relationship,
Yes, I do. I know.
and yes,
That person was also in a relationship.
Oh, I was. Yeah, I mean, I was in the relationship with this person.
Yes.
And I went on trips with them,
Mhm.
which is really weird.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Mhm.
Because to me, They are the couple
Yeah.
on the relationship,
Mhm.
in the relationship.
Mhm.
That's over. And I am a bystander
Yeah.
who has to watch the ignorance
Uh-huh.
of the other half. And yeah,
You were the other woman.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah. It did suck. And I don't know what the hell I did to myself to get me there, but you know, this is the stuff articles are made of.
Yes.
So I'll take my royalties when the time comes. But
I'll write the book, don't worry.
Yeah. So that's like the pending divorce. Like
Right.
everybody who's there knows what's happening, except one person.
That's so awkward.
It's kind of like the freaking the last episode. What the hell do we say? We talk about the new person moving in and like how the friends like all like you're trying to lie about the situation that you were in, but you can't hide that shit. Everybody knows what the hell's going on.
Everybody knows. It's like that TikTok sound. Everybody knows.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that he fucks you.
Right. And now because of your first vacation, now you know everybody shits too. So on that note, folks, this has been us on vacations.
And now I feel like we need a vacation.
On Thick Ice is created, hosted, and produced by Emily and John Shacklet.
To join the conversation, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at OnThickIcePod, email us at onthickIcepod@gmail.com, or call our hotline 415-494-7275. Subscribe to On Thick Ice wherever you get your podcasts.